Hat's back on. Okay, guys, are you ready for this? I just saw that there are strange anomalies in British Columbia, and that's Canada for those of you who don't know your geography. And I saw the pictures, the videos, if they are true, but let's assume they are. We're going to talk about this because there's something you need to know about that and about the people that are giving their opinions on these things. We're starting to reveal a lot of things because we're going into consciousness, and the whole planet has been built on unconsciousness. A few of us are waking up and realizing there's still a lot of people asleep. Don't expect them to wake up, but when you're awake, what a difference. I'm going to talk about the anomalies and a few other things going on right now that are going to be very clear to you, because there are three of the most powerful words that today, if you use, will open up the gateways to all kinds of really cool stuff. I'll explain how that works. Let's go. Welcome to Landria, Onkka on YouTube, here to help you break through those fears and live an amazing life. I just talked to my students and audience out there who are entrepreneurial and said, hey, what are you selling? Yeah, what are you selling? And why? Money. It's a top seller. Somebody told me a good sales technique. Low frequency world that's about me, service to self. I created a whole platform that's service to others, that serves self. And when you serve others, you serve self in a way you never could before, because all of a sudden, the gateway's open to giving, and the universe receives your message, your directive of abundance, giving, caring, compassion, and it says yes. Yes, I hope you'll subscribe. And those of you who are entrepreneurial, it's time. Somebody said, all YouTubers, they can never progress to awakening. I said, what do you do for a living? Boy, that's a pretty big blanket statement, and we're going to talk about that too. Putting people in categories, labels, names, separation. Number one reason that we are not progressing like we should and could. It's possible. All things are possible. So those of you entrepreneurial, you want to earn money doing something really amazing for the planet? Let's find out what it is. I teach you how to choose that. You should love everything in your life. You're going to be challenged no matter what. So at least you're coming from a place of passion. That's a free webinar here. Let's start doing responsible things now. Let's talk about that separation. Everything is meant to keep us in separation, not because it's always some deep, dark conspiracy, but because it is the natural state of humans. It is all they know. It is all they think and believe. And until they get introduced to something different, they will always perceive and see the world in their own reality is something very negative and fearful. So if you see UFOs, if you see a light in the room, if you get a message, if you are in a low frequency of unconsciousness, your perception of it is evil because you've been taught that. You are perceiving it in a belief system that it's negative, and it's not your fault. I'm going to tell you the three super powerful words that will open things up for you, but you got to be aware of it when you say it. You got to be aware. So I'm going to tell you about the lights first and the three words. So I saw somebody told me that I would love this YouTuber, which I'm not following YouTubers. I listen to interviews like Danny Jones and Jesse Michaels, who have some pretty big guys on there giving information. The bottom line is this YouTuber, somebody suggested that I would like. I watched her a few times. She does remote viewing. By the way, remote viewing is when you don't know what the target is, because if you know what the target is, then you will have an opinion of it in advance that can taint your view of it. A remote viewer is used in the government to figure out what's going on out there. So in order to have a clean slate, let's say they want to know where missile bases are. They would give coordinates to a group of people who were trained to do this, to use their psychic abilities, and then they would draw what they saw. Now, if I told you in advance, there's a missile base in, down in the corner. Okay, I'm going to remote view it. I'm going to go there. It's not remote viewing. So this person isn't remote viewing. I don't know what she's doing, but the term is not being used properly according to what it is. So she'll see something and she'll say, I remote viewed it. I'm going there. I'm going to go look at it. If she's using psychic abilities, that's great. So watch this stuff. She saw these lights going whoo, 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 in a video. She saw a video. She didn't make the video. Second, third hand, 1,000,000th hand view of this thing. And she said, I'm going to remote view it. I'm going to go there. I'm going to get this message. And by the way, I'm not making fun of her. She's a lovely girl. I'm sure she believes everything she says. But again, it's an opinion. So watch that. I told you to watch that. It is not terrestrial, meaning of this planet. Oh, no crap. It's in the sky. It's not a craft. It's a light, so probably not of this planet. It's probably of some kind of other form. All right. Woo! Great job there. All right, let's go to the next section. By the way, I'm having fun, not making fun. I just think this stuff's hysterical. So the second thing she says, it is of an otherworldly, non-human intelligence. Okay. Yeah, McFly. Brilliant deduction. What's it for? Never really gave us a reason for it. No, here's what it is. It was the Northern Lights. I'm originally from Michigan. I've seen them before, and they can do some insane things. When she did this, I happened to look up what was going on with the Northern Lights, and they are insane right now. In fact, that happened to be exactly when the Northern Lights were showing. And so what happens, and I actually saw it here in Florida, what happens was when the sun hits and a certain trajectory and clouds are doing certain things, and then it's playing havoc with whatever's happening in our atmosphere, the light can do this. And I actually saw that here. I went, what is that? And it shifts and it moves, and it was identical to what I saw. And we don't even have Northern Lights here, although we were getting them here at the time. Right? Remember, was that a year or two ago? We were getting Northern Lights down here. They were getting intense Northern Lights, just light moving around. It's beautiful. But we are absolutely so looking for something that we create these things. We get ourselves all worked up. We say it's this or that. Here's the 3 words. You ready for this? If you absolutely go into this, these 3 words, you will open yourself up to things. And I'm going to share with you, because it's in my book, the last chapter of what happens when you use these 3 words. The 3 words, I don't know. You thought I was going to say I am God. Well, you are, as of God. You are of God. Everything's of God. I don't know. Here's why. No human does. It's impossible because we are in a program. Everything's possible. We are in a program as humans not to know. So we accept this responsibility of unconsciousness. So you can't know. So we keep wanting to know everything. This is the answer. It's non-human intelligence. Everything is. We are non-human intelligence in a human body. What does I don't know do for you? So if you guys have read my book, the last chapter is called The Knowing, and I'll just give you a little spoiler alert. The knowing is actually when you stop asking questions because you realize it's impossible to know everything. The knowing is total peace because you don't need answers. Ego does. Ego wants to identify, what is it? Is it craft? Is it aliens? Is it this? Is it that? Are they evil? Ah! So we keep going on YouTube trying to get the answer, and they know this. Oh, and then they said this, and they said this, and they don't. They don't know. Even Jake Barber, who I'm a big fan of right now, until which time he does crazy stuff, which is possible because he's a human, and it's okay. But right now, I love that he doesn't care what the government does. He doesn't need disclosure. He's studying these non-human intelligence forms. He's trying to communicate with them, but he doesn't know, and he says he doesn't know. He doesn't know what they are, but he knows that it's intelligence, and that's obviously wants to communicate with us because it's doing a lot of that, showing up. We don't know why. None of us does. I know one thing. If it was a negative nature, we wouldn't be here. That's pretty obvious, right? You don't have to be a rocket science to figure that one out. What are their intentions? I don't know. Who are they? The future us? They created us? I don't know. I don't know. How cool is that? So what happens when you say I don't know? You open doors to everything. When you make a decision about something, you create that reality, box yourself in. Boom, this is how it is. And so everything else doesn't exist for you because that's how the quantum field works. It is when you place your attention, your beliefs on it, then it is. You actually change the results of things according to your beliefs. So if you think you know something, you've blocked out every other possibility, and frankly, the other possibilities, which are unlimited, will blow your mind as a human, which is why we are not meant to know. We are meant to experience, we are meant to explore as the human form. And we are meant to achieve whatever we can to the highest level if we choose. And you can say, that's not true. And I'd say, you're right, because I don't know. Go with your gut instinct about everything, and that is, we're just unlimited because one, source is unlimited. It is all things. And I can't know why it wants to know darkness and sadness and horror. I can't know why, because I am not of the form, of the pure form of source. I am of the form of limitations of consciousness. And as that unconscious form going back into consciousness as a human, not total consciousness, because total consciousness is when I leave this body, and even then it may not be. All I know is that I am here to explore the unlimited part of myself that allows me to expand, because energy is always in transition. It transforms constantly. It's all it's doing. This is not dead space. It's total intelligence beyond our imagination that's transforming constantly. Everything is transforming. Nothing is static. It's constantly moving, creating, expanding. The universe is expanding faster than the speed of light. Our galaxy is moving away from us faster than the speed of light. Remember, scientists, there's nothing faster than the speed of light. I am not listening to any scientists, because as soon as they put us in a box and limit us and say, I need, a peer review, or we need approval, or why? I'll tell you right now, I'll give you the answer. I don't know. And neither do you. So you can write all the stuff you want. Observe, feel, know, connect. Because we are one thing, and so you're not separate from that. So therefore you actually are all answers, all things, all nothingness. I've actually slipped into that nothing space, and I got to tell you, it's mind-blowing. I've been in that space where it's like, whew, beautiful, and I actually have, through meditation, gone into the darkness, and I'm not talking much darkness, nothing scary, it's actually beautiful, of true nothingness, and pulled myself out. Boom, whoa, I got a glimpse of it, and it was insane when all things stop and end. But they don't really, because if it's darkness and it's of any form of experience at all, it's not an ending. You wouldn't experience it then, right? This is mind-blowing stuff. Guess what? I don't know. So when you look at something, when you're watching these YouTube channels, when you're making a decision about why we have tariffs going on and the markets are tanking, and why we argue and kill one another, and why are we believing stuff that tells us that if we feel bad we have to take this, and then if it doesn't work we take another thing on top of it. I just saw a commercial, and then what did they say? May cause you to jump off a cliff, may cause you to drop dead. I'm like, and we do it, and we do it. We want, because humans are designed as self-serving. They want to know. So, those lights, you can say maybe it is craft. I saw the videos. It was northern lights. It was anomalies that we can't understand because things are going on, and our electromagnetic field is changing drastically, and that has been monitored, right? And showing that it's changing. And guess what light does? It is directly affected by the electromagnetic field. So you see more and more of northern lights and all kinds of crazy cool stuff going on. Enjoy it. Yay! What is it? I don't know. All right. I have all kinds of stuff down in the description that is non-plastic, non-toxic, and it's time for us to clean up the planet and make conscious decisions about what we purchase. I want to reward business owners who are making the effort to sell products that will change the planet. All right? And so if you go down there, I have an Amazon store with non-plastic shampoos, cleaners. Blue Land is all cleaners, comes in paper, it doesn't tabs, it doesn't come in plastic bottles. I have a water cleaner. I have a 15% discount on that. Cleans about 80 toxins out. Let's clean up our bodies. Let's get this, because it's this is a real thing that we're living in. Let's get it cleaned up, and let's stop being the self-serving, paranoid, limiting, unconscious entities that we came here as, that we can change. Why? I don't know. Your world will open up and you'll experience things without having to know. So again, if you want to read my book, you may never have to read another book. It was a download. I just shared with you the information I got that's so simple, so simple. Hard to believe for some of you, because you're still living in that self-serving world of fear. You think that you need some kind of a weapon to survive, but you won't. You won't. It's impossible, because everything transforms, as will you, naturally or otherwise. How do you want to go out? I hope mine's really interesting, maybe really peaceful, but maybe doing some really cool stuff in my life. So, Digital Explorer's down there in the free webinar. Go check it out, 5 Reasons Why Online Businesses Fail. And we're doing it in a way that's going to empower planet-conscious entrepreneurs. You don't have to know a doggone thing about what you want to do. Let's change the world. Let's change how you earn. Let's change how you live. Let's change how you function. And we may be the small percentage. That's okay. That's what's so exciting, because it's not easy. But when you go into the I don't know, oh my gosh, it's exciting, unlimited, an experience. You're whole and perfect, strong and powerful, loving, harmonious, and happy. Blessings to you, my friend. Namaste.